felt more like a winner than I do tonight. Never more certain the path laid before me was right. You over there with the curls in your hair, couldn't find more of a reason to stare. Never seen eyes look into me as you do tonight. And honey, I've been racing the wind like a bird, been chasing the wealth of the world, but it fades when you're near. So tell me where we go from here. Tell me where we go from here. If you'd hate the ocean, then I'd turn the water to land. If you'd miss the sunlight, I'd fill up the cups in my hands. And honey, I've been racing the wind like a bird, been chasing the wealth of the world, but it fades with you near. So tell me where we go from here. Oh, where do we go? The lights burn out low, the spring turns to snow. Where do we go? Whatever I do it with you. 'Cause honey, I've been racing the wind like a bird, been chasing the wealth of the world. Ooh, every stone I've turned, I've spoken out every word, but it fades with you near. So tell me where we go from here.
Well, good morning on day 35. Pretty tough day, and that's an understatement. It's 9:45. I've done 63 kilometres. I got away at 5:32, I think I rolled, as it was starting to rain. So yeah, I headed out in wet weather gear again, and it only rained for the first hour, and I only covered 12 kilometres in the first hour. But yeah, it stopped raining. The air is as moist as. There's been a couple of very light periods of drizzle, but no rain since about 6:30. The countryside again has been amazing. Yeah, you never get sick of watching the mist rolling up the hills. Yeah, incredible. I felt absolutely all morning. It wasn't helped by an absolute brutal climb, only about 5 kilometres into the day, about 15% for a few hundred metres. So yeah, I didn't make it up there. And I've said before, it's bloody hard pulling a heavy bike, 60 kilos of bike, plus about 90 of me, up a stiff hill. Yeah, I can manage about 50 metres, and then I stop for a bit of a huff and a puff, then another 50 and another huff and a puff. But look, I got there and an okay ride down the hill. Wasn't all that spectacular. But a little bit later, around the 30 kilometre mark, there was a long, steady climb of about 6%. Went for a few kilometres. on the other side of that was spectacular. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I got to enjoy some incredible scenery, including views out over to Myanmar. And I've tried hard to get some photos of the other side, but it's really hard with all the moisture in the air, just hard to get a long range photo. But shortly I'm coming to a couple of points that look like they're only about 1 kilometre from Myanmar. So I'm hoping I can get a couple of pics there. I'll certainly try. I don't like my chances of getting the drone up, but if I think I can, I'll try. So I'm 63 kilometres in. I've got probably 50 to go. The last 50 kilometres today have been unpleasant. So if I can do those 50 unpleasant kilometres, I can do the next 50 kilometres and hopefully there'll be some change and I'll start to feel better. Coffee's good. I'm at one of these Amazon stops. Coffee's not that great. About 3 out of 10, but it's hot. It's called a latte. So it's better than nothing. So I think I need something warm. Righto, I'm going to push on. That is Myanmar. That is Thailand. That is Myanmar. That is Thailand to the right. And those two hills in the background are Myanmar. That's amazing. I reckon a long hitter could hit a driver onto Myanmar from Thailand.
Where is the line between dreaming and feeling blue? It's 4 o'clock in the evening. I haven't left my room, but the truth is, if I'm honest, I feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I stay here or should I let go? Pull the sheets over my head, hoping change is gonna find me. You don't have to remind me. I'm doing nothing at all. I'm ruminating on a blank wall, but I feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I stay here or should I let go? Can you tell me what I need? Can you tell me what you see in me? Can you tell me what I need? Can you tell me what you see in me? I just feel stuck here in the
Well, good afternoon. That was my acting skills, pretending I'm a little fatigued. What a day! What a day! Look, it was always going to be roughly 110 kilometres. Turned out to be 123, with a slight twist at the end. Yeah, I had the options to stop around that 110 mark, just shy of Chumphon. But I didn't really like the look of the options and just the area, you know. There would have been nothing to do, no cafes to go to, what looked like a few fairly bland resorts, and then you're at the mercy of chef. So I decided to push on, and I'll come to the end, what happened at the end a little later. So look, I videoed, I think it was around 10 o'clock, and from memory I'd done about 63 kilometres. I was making very slow going of it. I'd survived the morning rain, and really I had quite cool conditions, very lumpy riding, and what's today? The 4th day since the rest in Phuket, and I guess the legs are just suffering a bit. They don't feel like they are, but I'm just not putting any power into the pedal. You know, there were lots of periods today where I sort of looked at what my pulse was doing, and it wasn't above 90. So it's not dehydration, I think it's just purely not the energy to push the pedals, and therefore to place demand on the heart. That nasty hill at the about 4k mark this morning was not called for, and that shouldn't be allowed. That should be ruled out as far as I'm concerned. They need to ban that sort of thing. It was awful. Roughly 15%. The bike is made for riding. It's not made for pushing. So it's roughly 60 kilograms bike and gear. And the rear panniers are right where you want your legs to be if you do a bit of pushing. So I had about a 200 metre push, and I could only make 50 metres before I'd have to stop and you know, have a bit of a breather and suck in some big ones. So yeah, it was hard, but man, once I got to the top and had another break, once I got started rolling again, yeah, the legs felt like they recovered immediately, but probably just not the overall energy levels. At that morning break, I had a coffee, and there was a fella selling some savouries and some rice, and I just couldn't face anything sweet. I've probably had enough sweet. That's a pretty big statement coming from me. So I had some savoury food and some rice, a good coffee actually, scoffed water, and I actually got, I guess, a second wind, and I knew that was coming. I knew I just needed to keep rolling the legs over, and you know, I'd come good. Whether I came good, I came better. Don't know that I came good. Yeah, that was about the 63k mark, so I obviously did another 60k's. Well, my day got quite interesting. Wasn't that far down the road, maybe 10 kilometres down the road. There was a really narrow point in the river that separates Myanmar and Thailand, and I calculated roughly 200 metres. A long par 3 or a very short par 4. I reckon on a good day with a good shot, I'm on 2 putt for a par. So yeah, that was incredible. So close to Myanmar. Look, as an Aussie, look, I've travelled a lot. I've crossed many borders. But as an Aussie, we don't share a border with anyone. If you want to see a border, you've got to go a long way. And so to stand in Thailand, look 200 metres across some water and see another country is, it's quite something. So I took the chance and I launched the bomber and I flew down the river, and I didn't fly over Myanmar land, but perhaps over Myanmar water. Fortunately, no one came and wondered why this former military officer with an intelligence background was flying a drone over Myanmar. But I did also calculate that there wouldn't be anyone from Myanmar in Thailand about to grab me. So I think I was safe. Yeah, so that was fantastic. The scenery all day was as it has been for the last week or more, since about Krabi. It's just been phenomenal. At about I think around the 70k mark today, I turned east and then headed across the Thai peninsula for about 50 k's, and I've basically gone from the western border with Myanmar to the east coast, to the Gulf of Thailand. I'm only about 10 k's or 5 k's from the water, so not far at all. There was bloody easterly blew up though, so I was riding to the east into an easterly, and I didn't appreciate that. Though to be honest, I was riding that badly that I don't think it made much difference. I've written some notes so I don't forget a couple of things. Look, I chose not to take a hotel about 10 k's out, and started riding in and started searching for hotels on Google Maps, etc. And I looked up at the sky and it was getting quite black quite quickly, and I thought I need to do something pretty fast, and I just could not find anything. And then it rained. So it rained the first hour today. I didn't have rain for the rest of the day, and everything dried off, and then it bucketed. So I took some cover and at a food stand, and stayed there about 40 minutes, I guess, and waited for the rain to cease and for things to just dry out a little bit, and I got rolling again. Got about 5 minutes down the road, and then it wasn't torrential, but it rained, and it just rained and rained and rained. And it rained until I got to the hotel that I am now at. And look, the hotel was awesome. I've come in a dripping drip, and they were absolutely fine. They let me go and check in and shower and get changed before I had to do all the paperwork, etc. So so that was good. And look, in the end, I think it was worth it. I'm staying in a really cool area, lots of bars, cafes. So it was kind of worth it, but I did get wet. My legs are tight, probably the first time the whole trip. So they're obviously starting to feel the pressure, and I intend riding for at least 3 more days before I contemplate a break, and I may not take that break, so we'll see. But yeah, they're tight, a little sore, but hopefully overnight they'll come good. They better. I'm on the bike again at 5:30 tomorrow morning. My next chore is to clean the bike. There's a spot in the garden here where they've said I can clean it. Really, it's just a water down, a cosmetic thing, and then I'll lube the chain for tomorrow and hope it doesn't rain. But the rain radar is showing a lot of rain in this area, and the worst of it though is behind me. Ranong is really suffering right now, so maybe I got out of it quite lightly. I'll sleep well tonight.
It's the same old sound in the same old town. short embrace to leave behind the night I need to get me by. Safe and lonely, it's the same old sound for days to come. I close the blinds and carry on. I'm not afraid to stay away. What comes around can stay unfound. It's the same old sound, the common ground. Just leave me be, don't ask me why. Behind these walls, no one talks, and tears will freeze are left to dry. Safe and lonely, the night arrives, polluted lights. I open up and let it shine. The moonlit sky